Great news, guys. Watches and Wonders just went public. For those who don't know, Watches and Wonders, recently named as SIHH, was a private watch convention. Even though you're a writer, watch related articles, obviously, you can't just waltz in and buy a ticket and enter it. You have to be invited. But nothing is forever, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. The world is changing drastically. You'll never know what's going to happen next, so if you consider yourself as a watch geek and would love to indulge yourself in the sea of new watches, Watches and Wonders is open digitally, started yesterday, Saturday at 6 a.m. EDT. Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Gentleman Pursuits podcast. I'm Ryan. How's everyone doing? I'm doing okay, just packing up, getting ready to move out of my dorm. It's towards, it's end of semester, and I'm moving to this new basement suite. I'm definitely going to miss this place, but I'm also looking forward to living in the new place, because you never know. You have to be open-minded to changes, right? So yeah, I hope that's going to be great. I hope that I'm going to have a great summer in there. And the reason why I am bringing the SIHH up is because I want to talk about all the new watch releases within the convention. And there's no way I'm going to skip this without telling you guys what are my top threes and why I find them more attractive than the rest in the collection. My overall favorite watch is the Mont Blanc Geosphere. I want who are listening right now, if you have the time, just pull up your Google image and type in Mont Blanc Geosphere 2020. There are multiple versions of the Geosphere, so make sure you type in 2020. So first of all, the Geosphere is you have to know this, the Geosphere is a keystone in the 1858 series. The Mont Blanc 1858 Geosphere is dedicated to the world's 7th summit mountaineering challenge, quote unquote by Mont Blanc, the holy grail of mountaineering adventures. The watch comes in a 42mm titanium case combined with blue and white color, inspired by the color of glaciers. And of course, the most important feature of the watch are the two turning hemispheres. I mean, look at that. Just look at it. Try to absorb the image, right? It's a whole world map on your wrist with the blue and white color contrast. This watch instantly reminded me of winter. Not the warm, sunny kind of winter though, but the winter just like how Mont Blanc described it, the winter you spend adventuring in mountains, snowy mountain where it's just white color and gray and blue around you. It is ice cold, sharp, edge cutting, and full of character. There's another watch from the Mont Blanc release that caught my eyes, which is the split-second chronograph, mainly because it reminded me of the Doxa Guild dial chronograph, but I gotta give it to the Geosphere. It's just too stunning not to talk about it. Second watch. So I'm a big horoscope guy. I've never shared this information with the public because a lot of people just, tend to bash on people that are into horoscopes or astrology because, oh, you're superficial. Why would you? Whatever. I'm into it. But not to the point where I'm going to let it dictate my daily life. But I just like to read about it. With that being said, it is pretty obvious which watch is my second favorite. It is the JLC Master Grand Tradition Grand Complication. This is the type of watch that I would appreciate from afar, but would I want to wear it if I own it? Maybe not that much, right? The watch is too beautiful for me to be wearing it around. Not that I will ever have the chance to own the watch, but I can see myself, once again, if I'm rich enough, if I purchase the watch, I would be putting it in my safest safety box or just at home in a glass cabinet or whatever, because this watch is an art piece. Truly astronomical, pun intended. So take a look at the dial. There is a net-like plate thing just under the celestial face, adding not only depth but a really, really unique detail to it. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, let alone the flying tourbillon just above the 6 o'clock position. Everything comes together to form this astrology map, the constellation map that you can purchase off on Amazon, but it just condensed into this beautiful dial. It's truly breathtaking. And it is also a minute repeater. And this, like, everything is just too, like, it's officially too much for my little heart to handle. I would have put this watch at number 1, but as I said, considering the practicality of the watch, which would I see myself wearing it as much as the Geosphere? Not really. The practicality of the watch, which obviously is a huge reason why we even want to wear watches in the first place, is not as good as the Mont Blanc Geosphere. So this watch is my number 2 pick from the collection. And I don't know if astrology or like moon and sky space related thing is the main theme for watches in 2020, because my third favorite watch is from Hermes, the Oxo de la Lune. It's a really hard word to pronounce, so I'll just refer it to the Oxo from now on. Hermes didn't start out as a watchmaker, obviously. They're known for their clothing, handbags, whatever. But they have recently changed the Hermes name to Hermes Watchmaker, which is really cool to see a big fashion brand dedicating themselves into the horology world and wanting to take watchmaking more seriously. The thing I like about this watch is that it is really simple looking. But it looks sophisticated as well. The moons on both polar end and the clock and dial, clock and calendar. Here's the cool thing though. Normally a moon phase is the moon that's moving, right? It's showing you day and night. But in this case, it is the clock and calendar that are moving around the dial. That's a fun little twist to it. The watch is in black and white with a dreamy, starry night as background. Dreamy is the perfect word to describe this watch. There really isn't much to this watch, but I just really appreciate when watchmaker or designers decided to go with simplicity and don't want to do too much fancy stuff to tire our eyes out, right? And they definitely pulled through with this one, so I really like this. So that's it. There's my top 3 watches from the SIHH. I would have mentioned IWC because their new releases are also gorgeous, but I just feel like they all kind of look similar, like old and new watches, and not special enough. Would I buy it if I have the chance to? Like, absolutely. But is it unique enough for me to talk about it? It's not quite extraordinary. So there's my top 3 pick from the SIHH. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys next Sunday. Thank you so much for listening to the latest episode of the Gentleman Pursuits podcast. Make sure you follow Gentleman Pursuits on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Just want to quickly remind you guys that the Facebook page is no longer there because Facebook decided to be an ass and lock me out. But I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. I hope you would continue to support Gentleman Pursuits by following Gentleman Pursuits on different social media so I can interact with you guys, because I love you guys and I want to talk to you guys and reply to every comment that you guys commented. And yeah, I hope you like this episode. Make sure to tune in next week. I'll see you guys.